Quick question, are your hi-hats sometimes sound a little bit boring in your raw minimal or micro house tracks? If yes, I want to give you 3 simple Ableton Live based effects that you can use to improve your hi-hats, add more groove, to add more movement, to add more complexity in a simple way, just using 3 Ableton Live based stock plugins. So if this sounds interesting to you, this video is perfectly for you. Yeah, now let's jump over. Before we do so, I want to give you something for free, which is my One Tool Ableton Live preset pack. This is basically a pack that I created for you with the intention to infuse fresh inspiration to your tracks, to your project files of Rominimal or Micro House. Sometimes we get stuck, right? Me as well, more often than not, you know. So I created those in mind for getting unstuck, to trigger some inspiration. They are based on Ableton Live stock plugins, One Tool presets. You know, it's one tool, but I assigned important dials to some macros so you can easily come up with some fresh ideas. So if you want those, grab them. It's 10 in there, 10 One Tool presets. So yeah, hope you like those. Let's jump over to this week's video. Thanks for watching. Cheers. There's a fly. Oh, should I kill the fly? No, I don't. You want to be in my video? Maybe? Come to my video. Alright, so for this week's video I want to talk a little bit about how to add a little bit more movement to boring hi-hat pattern. So let's assume you use a one-shot sample here like I do, and you simply have a boring standard hi-hat loop, right? Like this. This is a context loop here. So now this is very static, right? So how can we improve this very quickly? So number one is we need to play a little bit with the velocity. So I use Ableton Live's velocity plugin, MIDI effect, right? So there you go, and then basically we use the random setting here. So we already get a little bit of movement going on just with this little velocity thing. If we compare this, let's just make the case here. Now let's see. So this is without, right? Static MIDI notes. And this is without it, right? You can see we have a little bit of movement going on, and we can also adjust it. Lower those a little bit, maybe increase the randomness a little bit, and then record again. To show you that this is working, right? As you can see. So we get a little bit movement going on with velocity. So the second thing is using an LFO. Right, now there are 2 ways to do this. Number one, with the separate filter here. It's probably too much. Smooth it out a little bit, maybe. We set it to random. right? But we also could do it here inside the controls, right? In the simpler. Here we have a little section with the LFO, so we could also do it instead of an external LFO. We could also use this one. Like this. Then use filter. Right? But here I have the feeling I have more control with the dials here, with the range, and I can also use maybe sustain, pump this up a little bit. To get a little bit longer and shorter values here. I also have just another idea, you know, you can also use the velocity here, so it controls the velocity from here, controls the filter, the cutoff frequency, right, based on the velocity input. And we also could use the spread here. Just a little bit maybe. We could also map it, right? But just a tiny little bit maybe. And we could also use pitch very slightly. We use this integrated one. Can go to the extreme just to show you what it does, right? Yeah, you could also go like this, you know, why not? Also sounds interesting actually. Or we can keep it very subtle. Yeah, there are lots of opportunity here. So yeah, and then if you want to spice it up a little bit more, maybe use a simple filter delay to add kind of a layer, a little bit groove and stuff. This, like to offset a little bit maybe, to give a little bit of groove. Listen to this again. I have the impression that it adds a little bit of swing. Here I might increase it a little bit. And that's basically it, right? So now let's make a case quickly AB. So I MIDI map all the bypass stuff here for those three things. Then let's compare. Man, that's boring, right? Of course, this does a lot to the table, but even without that. Without, very static, always the same. And here we get the movement. Pretty simple. We used maybe 5 to 10 minutes to do this. Actually, let's add this filter delay again. Use a different sample here. Maybe even use a kind of a layer. Maybe gate it. The first one. Maybe let's use an open hi-hat here. Let's see, I have open hi-hats here. And so on. So yeah, I hope this helps. Again, three simple things. Number one, velocity plugin, stock plugin from Ableton Live. Number two, LFO, and number three, maybe use the simpler settings here. Maybe use the spread, automate it if you like. Sustain, making the sample longer or shorter randomly, also triggering with the same LFO. Maybe playing around with the pitch a little bit here. Yeah, it's open for experimentation, of course. And then I added a second one to add a little bit of a layer and using a gate and side chaining it, so we get kind of a gated hi-hat, you know, like a real drum kit, right? Because they don't play at the same time, but doesn't really matter, you know, of course not. I just do it to add a little bit of another groove, a little kind of thing that I always talk on this channel, which is we want to add things that we can feel but not hear, you know. We can feel this one. If you mute those things here, it's not so obviously, right? Of course, we know it now, you know, but in a whole track you wouldn't notice. And that is what, in my opinion, makes or breaks a track. Those little bits and pieces here and there, So yeah, have fun experimenting. um Hope this helps, hope this is inspiring. Let me know what else I could share or should do on this channel, to help you improve your production game regarding micro house, minimal house, Rominimal, however you want to call this. And yeah, hope this was helpful, and don't forget to download my one tool preset pack. So yeah, hope you like it. Cheers.